Okay, I want to talk, we're seeing this with a lot of our players at the moment, is that picking up some sort of soft tissue niggles, positional problems, just things that don't quite clear up. Now we're big on, as you know, movement first, position of the skeleton. And one of the things that we find, or we have found, that is kind of undermining some of the work that we're doing with the body is the position of the tissues. Now, because we are on computers, driving our cars, life's in front of us. So what ends up happening is that our brain makes a decision that these positions are crucial to our survival. So it kind of sets up camp there. So what I mean by that is tissues, length, tension, the fascial system, everything in the front of the body becomes short and tight. Now, from an athletic point of view, it becomes a real issue because just a simple movement like hip extension, glute activation in the gait cycle, change of direction, running, jumping, we can't access that range of motion here at the hip. So what happens is we get it from another segment. So the lumbar spine's in extension now, which is why we still see so many issues with back pain, knees, but it's actually more of a positional tissue problem. So we were talking about how do we actually open up those tissues on a regular basis, because people aren't going to be behind desks, they're going to be driving their cars. Your life isn't going to change. People are using standing desks now at work, but the issue with that is that the tissues are still short and tight in the front, so they're just in lumbar extension while they're standing on their computer. So for us, we're trying to look at, well, how do we get on top of this, but how do we make permanent change? Because we don't want people doing what we would call prehab or corrective exercises on a regular basis, but we are looking at the body needs a dose of something to combat some of these positions that we're getting into that are robbing us of athletic performance. And for us, we are big on hip extension to be able to drive that head of the femur forward. And even just to complete an active gait cycle, we need a certain amount of hip extension. And because of life, we're losing that. So look, we've come up with, can't coin it, it's called the couch stretch. Kelly Starrett, many years ago, started thinking about how do you open up all these tissues in the anterior line, all this anterior fascia, quad, how do you hit the psoas, the iliacus, how do you actually change all these tissues through the front of the body? And we've got something for you which is called the couch stretch. Now there are two levels to this. So you need to find yourself a wall or something behind you, get a pad or just a cushion will do. Now the setup position here, you're going to set the knee back into the crease. And just the first position I want you to get into is just here. Now, in this position, what we want to be able to do is actively engage the brain. So the issue we have, we don't just want to hang out here going into extension. We want to keep the rib cage down and locked. But can you actually squeeze that glute? Can you engage the brain to squeeze the glute? So I want to actually spend some time contracting, 3-4 second holds, and relax, move around, and let's start to contract. So we're really trying to find this position, but engage our anatomy, not just, because again, so many times I see people in training sessions, they're in the gym, and I get it, like everybody's listening to music. We're so disconnected from our bodies that it's quite remarkable. Just doing a simple training session and actually thinking while you're doing it is something that people seem to find so alien. So here, I'm contracting, I'm relaxing, can I get into that position? That's the first position. Now from here, and where some people are going to find this a struggle, we're going to hop up into half kneeling. I've got a couple of yoga blocks. You can use anything just to make this a little bit easier. Bring the knee up. Okay, good. Now, from here, some of you, this will be enough. And some of you, it'll be too much of a struggle. But if you're here and you're in this position again, can you squeeze that glute on this side? Can you engage the glute? Can you contract for 3-4 seconds and relax? You're just going to spend some time here trying to breathe into it. Can you actually breathe through it? A lot of you by this stage will be in panic stations, so you'll be breathing really quickly. Slow your breathing, engage the diaphragm, take a big breath. All the time, making sure we don't go into this extended back position and dump the pelvis. So we want this rib cage down. It will feel like my back's rounded, but it's not. We're actually in a good neutral position. So spend some time here. Again, contract. 3, 4 seconds and relax. The end result is you're trying to get into this position here with the torso upright. So again, for me now, I'm starting to catch the iliacus, the psoas. So I'm winding up all the tissues from the top of my foot up through the calf, into the quad, the hip flexor, everything above the pelvis. For a lot of you at the minute, you won't be able to get into this position, which is fine. This is why we want to try and improve and work on this. So again, we're in this position, squeeze the glute, contract, relax, go again. Can you get into this complete upright position? If you can, the progression now is to put a little reach in. So arm comes up and across, and now we're picking up all that fascial line through the tricep, underneath the rib cage. We're picking up the obliques, everything. So the couch stretch for me is a particular position that undoes a lot of the problems that we find in life in general, which is sitting, that short, tight position, that short postural position. And our players have to be able to have access to full hip extension, so we're not relying on the lumbar spine or the knee to compensate for it. So it's really a crucial part of doing this. So for you guys, see if you can get into position 1. If that's enough for now, great, stay in position 1. Eventually though, and this will be something we'll be talking about quite a bit, is we want you on both sides to be able to get that torso upright. If you can get into that position, no concerns about having the ability to extend that hip. So you're looking to spend anything from 3 to 4 minutes on each side, a couple of times a day, and let's get back that pelvis into a good position and change those tissues.